Rabbitohs Radio Podcast, the number one source for everything South Sydney Rabbitohs.
Welcome to another edition of Rabbitohs Radio. My name is Grant Chappell. I'm joined by my loyal co-host and friend, Darren Browny Brown and Big Lez from the Big Lez Rugby League Podcast. What's doing, boys? Back in the studio, eh?
Yeah, back in the studio. Been missing in action for a couple of weeks, work commitments. But yeah, the show must go on, and you boys have done a tremendous job over the last couple of weeks. Some great content you're providing as well.
Yeah, it's been good. Brownie, you've been avoiding us a little bit, mate. But we've smashed it. We've smashed it out on the Zoom. Not too bad. But happy to be back in the studio. Missed it.
Yeah, it can be convenient, the Zoom. But yeah, look, you're right. Brownie has been brushing us. But you know what? We're still his mate, all right? We'll still let him hang with us, all right? But Brownie, look, you missed out on that game on the weekend up there at the Central Coast where the boys got away with a victory. It was just one of them ones that you sort of had to win. I think the first two tries came a little bit easy, and when that happens, sometimes you can sort of thinking you've got the thing won.
Yeah, a very high-scoring game, wasn't it, chaps? A very entertaining game. The lead changed a couple of times throughout the match, and yeah, a game that we really needed to win to keep our finals hopes alive, and we certainly did that. Towards the back end of the game, we nailed a couple of tries, and that sealed the win.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it certainly did, mate. Look, I mean, we went through it last week and on the weekend there, and look, as I said, it was just one of them games. You probably won't look back on that one at the end of the season, but it was 2 points.
Well, there's a couple of ways that you win throughout the year when you win football games. You grind wins out. You smash teams, and that's what you call winning ugly. And you need to do that on your way to a semi-final appearance. And hopefully we can keep winning. And another one this week against the Canberra Raiders.
Yep. And we covered the Origin as well, Les, so we'll get your thoughts on that one.
Yeah, one of the best Origin performances I think I've ever seen. That first half was unbelievable. An arm wrestle in Origin usually goes for 15, 20 minutes, but this one went for 65 minutes before there was a try scored. Outstanding game, one of the best games that I think I've ever seen in terms of a state of Origin. And the Blues owned the big moments at the back end of the game.
Yeah, it doesn't get any tougher than that. And some of the boys backed up, which is pretty impressive. A couple of them decided not to play, but look, well done from the backing up, Big Les.
Yeah, exactly. It was a real tough few performances on the weekend, especially with a lot of teams fighting for that top 8 contention. Seeing guys like KP back up, the Broncos boys backing up to a really high standard as well with Renault back. We saw some great performances over the weekend.
And a team that didn't back up their players was Penrith, and they didn't miss a boot, boys. How good are they?
Well, they did. They were down 26-12. I thought I'd back the Dolphins. I'm talking out of my hip pocket here, but look, I thought they just made a few little errors at the back end with the young halfback there. He should have steered them home there, but didn't go for a field goal at the back end. There's a few things didn't go their way. A bloke sent for 10 in the bin at the back end, so it didn't help them. But yeah,
I'll tell you what is scary: to complete at 92% for 80 minutes against Penrith, even regardless of how many guys they had out. Just with how gritty and committed Penrith are to getting the win, it is still amazing the fact that against the forward pack of Penrith, against Nathan Cleary, who looks like he hasn't skipped a beat since coming back, I think that's outstanding.
Like you said, chaps, they had a big lead, and that was on the back of that ball completion. I think I text you at half time, and they were 100%. Not one error from the Dolphins, and they still played footy. It's not as if they just tuck it under their arm and, one out, one out, one out. They've got some exciting players, a great attacking team they are, and to complete it at 100% is outstanding.
They're very well coached, and can't wait to get that coach in the building.
100%.
November 1, King Wayne will be in the building, but yeah, their back three do a great job. They're rolling out, but it is team list Tuesday, boys. A few changes in, and they're all sort of forced changes. Richie Chee Kam will not be playing this week due to the concussion protocol. He'll be going through that, the 11-day stand down. So they've thrown Michael Chee Kam right centre, a veteran player, done a great job this year.
I think you said Richie Chee Kam, chaps.
Richie Chee Kam, sorry. Richie Kennar, he's out, and Michael Chee Kam jumps in at our right edge back row. A little bit of a tongue twister there. Apologies, guys. and the return of the prodigal son, Jacob Host, mate. 106 games, first grade. Good to have Hosty back.
Yeah, like you just said, chaps, 106 games that he'll be playing this weekend. Brings a lot of experience on that edge. That left edge, I'd say he will play. A great defender, a great hole runner as well. He hits that the ball really nicely in behind the ruck. So he'll get us some good yards out of our own end. And, like I said, we'll be relying on his defence heavily down there at GIO Stadium on Sunday.
Well, before the injury, he looked like he was having a pretty solid start to the year too. So looking for him to get back to that form. Now, you were obviously at training today, chaps, and you've seen a bit of a El Smokey there on the wing.
Oh, well, they had Fletcher Myers playing left wing because I think Alex Johnson might have been injured. Browny possibly just going through some rehab. He could have had a Veterans Day off. I didn't get a call on that one, but they had Fletcher Myers, who's a left side player. He was over there playing on the outside of Tane Milne. So is that a possible smokey to come in? I don't know. Peter Mabazoulis didn't train either, so he's got to prove his fitness. Look, they're training tomorrow. Might be a little bit different. We'll get down there tomorrow and have a look at that. But, yeah, look, a possibility maybe Fletcher Myers to come in.
Yeah, well, you said Peter Mamazoulis didn't train. Havili was also called in as the second hooker, you said, as well,
Yeah.
in sets.
Yeah, he was playing a bit of hooker there. Liver, who we know has done that in the past. I think he started as a hooker over there and used for the New Zealand Warriors many years back. Look, I think it was great to see Big Shaq back training in full. He looks like he's been named in the cup side later on. Dean Hawkins, he was doing some fitness tests, a bit of tackling, and it was great to see Tyrone Munro just testing the shoulder out. He might probably do 2-3 weeks of that, doing some tackling practice. Didn't do any of the ball work sessions, but yeah, couple of big ins at the moment
Is
for the
he
boys.
a shot coming back this year, Tyrone?
Yeah,
Or-
he'll be playing in 2 to 3 weeks.
Oh, wow, there you go.
Yeah, he's coming back. I don't know if he'll come straight back into first grade though. I mean, you couldn't drop Jacob Gagai on his efforts and his performance, boys.
No, I think Jacob's been one of our best players over the last 4 to 5 weeks. But, yeah, like you said, chaps, in the injury toll, the Rabbitohs put out an injury update. And like you just said, there a number of players due to come back over the next couple of weeks. But I feel sorry for Richie Kennar because he was in some really good form over the last few weeks. Richie Kennar, he was playing some really solid footy in that centre position. And, yeah, a bit unfortunate that he's got to have a week off due to the concussion rule.
Yeah, exactly. He was in some pretty decent form, and Cody was really steering that right edge strong. So yeah, it'd be unfortunate to see him miss out. But then again, you also get a little bit of strike, a bit of an offload, just a bit of fancy, but very tough. Michael Chee Kam as well. He's a great hole runner, so I imagine he'll just play a very similar back row role there in the centres when he gets in there.
What was your thoughts of maybe leaving Damien Cook out there? I thought he did not a bad job. He came up with a few defensive errors, which he might have got better this week after watching the tape. With his speed out there, I thought he was good. He created a couple of opportunities late in the game, nearly scored a couple of tries.
Well, he has scored a couple of tries off the back of some Cody Walker kicks during the season, Latrell Mitchell kicks playing out there in the centres. So, look, he would have done the job, but I think just with the doubt over Peter Mamazoulis, you're probably going to have Damien sit there at lock hooker. And look, if anyone watched the press conference last week against the Tigers, Ben Holmby doesn't like to change things too much. He likes to keep things nice and solid, try and keep combinations, and I think they've done that there. Like, Cheeks out there with Jacob Gagai, two sort of veteran guys. I know Gags is not really a veteran in first grade, but he's been playing the game a long time. He can read defence pretty well. Up against a couple of centres this week, Sebastian Christian, Matthew Timoko, not the quickest centres, but very skillful and very powerful.
Timoko has been one of the more underrated centres in the competition this year. He seems to just get tackle bus galore every single week, run over 100 metres.
He's hard
set
to
up
handle.
His outside man. Yeah. And I think as well, though, just with Damien Cook shifting to centre, I think that if we were in the top 8 and we were locked in and we were sweet, we didn't have any issues, regarding defence, I'd probably be happy to have Damien Cook out there in this sort of situation. But where we are now, where we need to get to, I just don't think we can afford it.
Yeah, the Raiders are only 2 points in front of us, and we're only a couple of points outside of the 8. And I said in the early part of this show that our semi-final hopes are still alive, so we've got to do everything in our power to win this game against the Raiders. It's a must-win, and it's a tough ask going down to GIO Stadium on a winter Sunday. It's going to be very cold. But, yeah, it's going to be an exciting game and one we really need to win.
I think it was only 4 degrees last week when they played down there.
Yuck.
So, yeah, that could be a bit fresh down there.
Bit of snow on the mountains.
You know who plays good down there in those conditions? Tommy Burgess, made off the bench. Brock Gray, jumper number 22. Just wanted to touch on him. I've never mentioned him with you the other day, but Chizzy was outstanding in his second game back. Brock Gray, a guy who's just toiled in the lower grades for years and years for a few different clubs, including Cronulla. He would have debuted had he not get injured before that Dragons game. Brock Gray getting back to his best form.
Yeah, just that.
Gets rewarded with the jump at number 22.
Yeah, congratulations to Brock. And the debut was not too far away from him. And like you said, Chaps, he was on the cusp of debuting a couple of weeks ago before he got injured. And, yeah, just an old school type front rower, isn't he? Does the hard yards, the tough carries, tucks the ball under his arm and just goes forward and gets plenty of metres, good post-contact metres as well.
Big unit. Look, the
big body.
Mascot got to win the next couple of weeks to stay in contention for the semi. Geez, I love that Brock Gray.
Oh, certainly would.
I know Chicka will be watching this one. Shout out to you, Chicka, coach of the Mascot A grade side. Look, boys, there's a milestone game coming up. A bloke by the name of Keon Kalomatangi. Brownie, you've had a fair bit to do with him. 100 games. It's a good milestone for him.
So, yeah, it certainly is, Chaps. And you just mentioned that club, the Mascot. He's a Mascot junior, product of them with Cameron Murray, played in the same team as Cameron Murray. Probably got overshadowed a little bit as a junior by Cameron. He was a superstar in the team, but Keon, you could tell, was always destined for higher things. And to play 100 games, I seen his press conference today. He was happy just to play one game, and a great honour for him. I'm sure he'll be very happy, and he's got a wonderful family too. His dad, Izzy, and Nicole. I'm sure they'll make the trip down to Canberra to watch this milestone game of Keon, who is in career best form, I believe.
Yeah.
He's been our best forward over the last 6 weeks, running for over 200 metres every game. And, yeah, gets us on the front foot. It's been a wonderful move, moving him into the middle, hasn't it, boys?
Yeah, well, you think he hasn't gotten up for the past 6 weeks? You watch him in this one, 200 metres, try 250 for BK on. I'm putting it in there right now, 250 metres. Go get it.
Like in the 250. Look, he debuted. I went back and looked at his debut, boys. It was 2020, round 4. Jumper number 21 in a 22 points to 8 loss. I think only Alex Johnson scored and Adam Reynolds kicked a couple of goals. So Adam Reynolds was the halfback. Who was the 5'8" in that game, boys? Cast your mind back there.
What year was it, Chaps?
2020.
2020. So it's only a couple of years ago. Oh, wow. I'll say the big man, John Sutton.
No, it wasn't Sutter. We retired in 2018. I think it was his last year.
Was it Dino? Dean Hawkins?
No, it wasn't Dean Hawkins. It was a bloke who's actually not with us now. The late Troy Dargan.
Okay, yeah, sure, yeah.
Right, yes.
Rest in peace, Dargs. Played a couple of first grade games for the Rabbitohs and played 5'8" that day.
Yeah, he was a talented player. I think he was a Parramatta junior.
Yep.
Correct me wrong. And, yeah, had a bike accident over in one of the islands over there, the Polynesian islands. I can't remember which one it was.
It was a Cook Islander, I think,
Cook
from
Island.
memory.
He got picked up by Canberra to play this year to be the 14 for
He
them
did.
too. Yeah, so super unfortunate. And obviously, as we said,
rest in peace.
Yeah. Well, he had a massive year for the North Devils. That's where we picked him up. He was murdering them at 20-odd try assists, and we got him down. And he did a good job for us. But there's a little side note there for Keon's debut back there in 2020. A couple of years later, he's bringing up the ton. Yeah. Why not, big Keon? Well done, fell. Young man, and can't wait to watch it.
It's a great honour, chaps. Like when you come to think of it, probably the average games that NRL player plays over the whole course of the game, there's probably only 2 or 3. And for him to bring up 100 games at such a young age, he's got a big career ahead of him and already represented his country in Tonga and at the World Cup. He's played plenty of test matches and played a state of origin as well. So, yeah.
He'd be nearly the first one picked at the moment if they're picking a team. They'd get him straight in there and possibly look at him being a captain. He's a real leader of our team, real leader of our pack. And
it's a pity his dad's a Parramatta supporter.
Well, is he, mate? We'll get you on board one day, mate. Looking over at that Canberra Raiders lineup, have been a little bit disappointing. They lost 7 out of the last 10 games before Fogarty came back, and they had a good win on the weekend. Jamal Fogarty just seared him around the park. Probably short of a gallop, but he'll be certainly up for it this week. A big in.
Yeah, huge in. And look, just looking at the rest of this Canberra Raiders lineup as well. Over the past few weeks, they've had some very up and down performances. I think that Ricky gets them up for this game. I really do. Canberra at home, it is going to be a real tough ask. Hoping that we're up for it defensively, and I know we will be.
Geez, I've seen them blow teams away in the first 15, 20 minutes down there. They start fast. Down there at GIO Stadium, like we said, it's going to be cold. It's going to be a winter's day. But, yeah, they're in the same position as us. They need to win to keep their finals hopes alive. And they're a young team who play a very up-tempo brand of footy. And if we're not on song with our defence, we could be in for a long day. But very confident we can go down there and get the win.
Well, I'm not sure if you boys watched the Canberra game on the weekend, but with Jamal Fogarty back, you could tell in the first 15 minutes, like just the
They're a
impact that he
different
had on
side.
that
I
team.
watched it, yeah. Hudson Young got over the stripe
a
early,
lot
couple
more,
of tries, yep.
just a lot more structured. Like everything was going to plan, and yeah, look, his combo on that left hand side is beautiful as well. So yeah, I mean, it is going to be interesting to see how we go there against him in the first 15 if they do get a bit of a roll on there.
Look, I'm not going to compare him to Adam Reynolds, but you saw the impact Adam Reynolds had with Brisbane when he came back in after a long layoff. Jamal Fogarty had a very similar impact on the Canberra Raiders side. So, look, they've beaten us last year and the year before, so we haven't beaten them since 2021, the year we won the grand final. It was like a COVID year, wasn't it, or a back of a COVID year. So we're looking to get back on the horse after a couple of tough outings against them. I reckon Elliot Whitehead's had a great year. He's had some games this year where he's just about won it on their own. The one against Manly, on a night game there a few weeks back. But look, I really like the young fullback. What I've seen from him, KO Works, an explosive little player, a bit like a Keeney from up at the Gold Coast. That similar style player, can hold the ball, play ball. He plays 5'8" and all that stuff in the lower grades, but. We've got a job on our hands to contain him and Xavier Savage, very explosive outside back.
Yeah, and Xavier Savage as well. He loves to roam as well. He gets off his wing and comes into that fullback role when they do their spread sets to the left as well. So he's very elusive. He's got great footwork, but he's actually got a great mind for the game as well and where to position himself and to catch the defense off guard. Being the winger coming back in on the inside as well for an inside ball off the center. He's very smart with how he plays his game, and I think a lot of people take that for granted. And KO Weeks as well, wherever he's been put for Canberra this year, he's killed it, whether that be halfback or fullback. He's very, very dangerous.
Yeah, well, a lot of these players have come through the pathway system down there in Canberra, so they know each other's game. And like I said, they're a very young team. And, we've got our hands full down there on Sunday.
Yep, no doubt about it. Look, going to the juniors, juniors group of clubs sponsor us. This is the Pathways segment. We've got a bit of Pathways news there. A good friend of the program, mine and Brownie's, Joe O'Callaghan, he's been let go at the end of the season. He's going to see the season out, but just wanted to say thanks very much for everything you've done for us, and particularly me and Brownie, giving us all the time in the world, plenty of interviews over the years, and you've been a great mate to us, and you've done a great job down here at the Rabbitohs, producing a lot of guys, including Jai Gray at the moment, Liam LeBlanc. These are all blokes he's found over the last couple of years, and there's been plenty of good debuts under Joey O'Callaghan.
Yeah, look, a bit of negative comments on social media, which they're always entitled to. They've got their own opinion, but big thank you to Joe and the time that he's gave us. Like you said, he won a premiership with the New South Wales Cup with a very aging squad. He's done a tremendous job to get them home, and also won the Interstate Challenge as well. So, plenty of kids that have debuted under his watch. Look, probably not as many juniors as what people would like, but at the end of the day, our junior development over the last couple of years has dwindled away, and it's like all junior league. There's not as many teams, not as many players, and I'd like to know if there's been any junior players that have left our club under Joe's watch and debuted at a different club. I can't think of any. If there is someone out there, please let me know. But I think he's done a tremendous job. Like you said, Chaps, he's debuted a couple of kids coming through, Liam LeBlanc, Jai Gray, Tallis Duncan's another one, Benny Lovett, Trent Peoples. There's been a number of debuts under Joe's watch, and I think he's had his fingerprints all over it.
Yeah, plenty of talented footballers coming through South Sydney, and it is quite unfortunate to see him go. So wishing him all the best with his next venture.
Yep, 100%.
All the best, Joe.
All the best, Joey. And we're going to get him on for an interview. I was talking to him this afternoon, so all good there. The New South Wales Cup, they're going to play the Raiders down there at GIO Stadium in the prelude for the main game. The main game's on at 6:15 on Sunday evening. This one will be on at 3:50 down there at GIO Stadium. Looks like the return of the Hawkins is back, but it's not Brent. Sorry, it's not Dean Hawkins, it's Brent. So
Brent Hawkins,
Brent comes back. He was a very good, accomplished halfback, actually. Just his kicking game will be huge for that side.
Well, it just showed, but we just spoke about the importance of halfbacks in today's game, and the two that we spoke about, Adam Reynolds and James Fogarty, who will be taking on Sunday. Yeah, well, Brent Hawkins will do the same for this particular team. He'll bring stability. He'll bring a good kicking game. He's a good organiser, isn't he, Chaps? He gets the team around the park, and really looking forward to his return.
He'll take some pressure off Dion Tiapa, who sort of gets into the 7. He does a job there, but I think he's more of a natural 6.
We'll talk about Footy Dean Jr. I swear to God, I saw pictures of Brent on New South Wales Rugby League, and I thought it was Dean. I literally thought it was Dean. I had to take 15 seconds just to figure out that it was Brent. But, look, great to see him back from injury. And as you said, we'll take heaps of pressure off Dion, who I think just watching him in first grade is definitely a better 6. But, very much so looking forward to seeing how these guys go.
Yeah, another big in there. Look, Shaq Mitchell will make his return in reserve grade, coming back from pretty significant calf injury. I think he missed 6 to 8 weeks or something like that. So well done to the big fella. We know how hard he works to get back. Big body. Very close to re-signing, I believe, under coach Wayne Bennett. It would be interesting to see what Wayne can get out of Shaq Mitchell next year. No one's actually really got to him to reach his potential yet, and I know he can. He's sort of only getting back into the game, really. And there's a return of Leon Tahau, who I thought has been playing quite well up until he had his concussion at Coogee Oval. He just had that 11-day stand down. He'll be back to it's a really strong lineup when you look at Brandon Mansfield Webster, Fletcher Myers, both players that aren't far away from debuting. Isaac Tupu Thompson, who's playing some really good form. They come off a great win on the weekend. And Billy Shrickhurst, not sure what happened to Big Billy. We'll find out there, but he's been left out of the side this week. So,
couldn't be on form because I thought he was outstanding last week. I watched that game on the Foxtel. It was on before the NRL game, and I thought Billy's first stint was unbelievable. His tough carries, making plenty of yards, his post-contact meters, got the sets rolling forward for the Rabbitohs, and I thought he was really good. So I don't think it'll be dropped on form. I'm sure he'd have an injury of somewhat.
Yeah, he must have been a little bit crook there, big bad Billy, Shrickhurst. But Flegg, they got the bye this week. I bumped into Hooker there, young Bull Donnelly's young bloke.
Yeah, Archie
Donnelly. He was just up there at the shops there at Little Bay, and he said they got the week off and looking forward to coming back next week. He had a good game last week. As soon as he come on the field, I think we hadn't scored a point, and we ended up putting on a couple of tries while Archie was on the field, just getting some nice service out of dummy half.
I'm sure all them kids will go back and play at their junior club as well. Archie being a Wombat. I think they've got a big day this week against the Mascot club down there at Mascot Oval. It's Mascot Old Boys.
They both got to win, I think, to stay in touch with the top 4.
Yeah,
that'll be interesting to see that one. Anyway, and the women's, I went out to watch the women's. They're playing the Eels this week, so it'll be interesting to see how that one goes. Eels are only won the 1 game, we've won the 2, but I'm Maddie Studden will get the girls around the park, no doubt about it, like she did the last couple of weeks. I don't think that one's on TV, but if you wanted to get out there and watch it, jump on the New South Wales Rugby League website.
The NRLW, is it round 1 this week as well?
Yeah, kicks off at 7:45 on Thursday. Keen for it. Shoot some good games. I think that the Roosters will be playing Newcastle, so I think we were listening to it on Bloke on the way over here. They were talking about it. Yeah, Millie Elliott's old club, won a few premierships with that club too. So looking forward to it.
I just went through the team list just before we came on to record. Geez, there's some quality players after watching State of Origin and all the the women's games. Yeah, the game these days is very highlighted. There's a lot of media around about the women's game, and it's a good game to watch. But when you start to read about some of these players, you start to watch them a little bit more, and there's some real quality players out there. Tamika Upton for the Brisbane Broncos, what a player! I reckon she could play NRL.
Yeah, very powerful, very skillful, no doubt about it. Anyway, I got that stadium here in front of me. It's Eric Tweedale Stadium in Sydney. Good luck finding that one. I don't know anything about that stadium. Boys, you played at that one?
Never heard of it.
It'll be out west somewhere.
It'll be out near Parramatta anyway. If you're going to get out there, get behind the girls because they had a bloody good crowd there at Redfern Oval the other day.
Yeah, good to see. Like we said, they
triple the crowd the flag team had. So obviously there's a lot of people getting behind our girls, and we're starting to see
I'm sure
bit of that talent in the last few years in the pathways.
I'm sure Maddie would have had all her fans out there, Maddie Studden.
Yeah, Mum and Dad were out there. Yep, they're all out there. They even had the dog out there watching us.
Oh, well, there you go. Shout
there
out to you, Joe and Chris.
Yeah, and Chris, former Rabbitohs coach back in the day. He's doing a little bit tough at the moment, so shout out to you, Studsy.
Yep.
Great bloke. That might be about it, boys.
Yeah,
Got anything
else, boys?
Nothing else. Nothing
No?
else.
Nah, that's about it for another edition of
Well,
Rabbitohs Radio.
Let's mention our sponsors, Darryl Lee. Make sure you get out there. They're still selling the white Rockley Road, guys. Make sure you go out there and have a buy one of them blocks of chocolates. They are just outstanding. Go to Coles or IGA. Got the marshmallow, the peanut through it, the coconut. Unbelievable.
$6, yeah, from Woolies, yeah.
And our giveaway, the Quest apartment giveaway. It'll be drawn next Monday. Make sure you go onto our Instagram. Terms and conditions apply. So make sure you enter to be in the running to win a night's accommodation when we play the Sharkies out there at PointsBet Stadium.
And we've secured a couple of tickets from a friend of ours, a former player there. We'll reveal him next week. He's been a son of an immortal. You might be able to guess it. But, yeah, and we've got a bit of Darryl Lee product to throw in there. So it's a very good price.
All we do is give away on this show. The Site Pizza giveaway.
We'll get something eventually.
Guess the player. Make sure you jump on our Instagram and have a look. Guess the player. See if you can guess it. Win a $100 voucher.
Yep, that's it. I mean, you know what I'm going home to? The next one over came and he makes a great cheesecake. He's from San Diego.
I'm coming.
San Diego, California. He's a chartered accountant. I think he does all the business at tax time over there from Australia, and he brought in this beautiful cheesecake, homemade.
Oh wow!
I think it was Oreo cheesecake with with a bit of coffee in it. So I can't wait to get home to that.
Are you still calorie counting?
Yeah, well, I'm bulking at the moment.
Oh, okay.
So
well, there you go.
That'll be right up my alley. Yeah, 100%.
I'll get you a Scotch fillet steak and a slice of that, mate.
Perfect.
Carve it up.
How good.
But that might be it for another edition of Rabbitohs Radio Podcast. Up the mighty Rabbitohs.
Up the Bunnies.
Up the Rabbitohs.